What's up, everyone? You tune in to Rightfully Structured. I want to touch bases on communication. Um, so everybody communicates. You go through your life communicating, having conversations, this and that. But it's a deeper level of communication. Whenever you have an issue, doesn't matter if it's at work, your relationship, anything that you feel like you need to address, then you need to speak up and communicate it. Don't act out in anger. Don't lash out. Actually try to have a conversation and communicate it. You'll be surprised how much of a difference it will make. So that's one thing I actually learned through my life struggles and life lessons, should I say, being able to communicate. One thing I did learn that you can't communicate with everybody. It's going to be a cutoff point for a lot of people because the level of their level of learning was cut off at some point that stops them from being able to see things further than the level they at. So still you address those people by communicating, and when you realize it's not going anywhere, you gotta make a decision in any aspect of your life, work, whatever it may be. You just gotta be able to communicate. um, I feel like that everyone should be able to communicate. It doesn't matter what type of person you are. You should show everybody respect and give them the benefit of the doubt or whatever the case, however you feel. Being able just to communicate how you feel or a disagreement, anything, you should be able to address that, especially in a relationship. You should be able to let a person know how you truly feel so that you can build a better relationship. If you're not communicating correctly and all you're doing is just projecting, then what do you expect? It's not going to go anywhere. But being able to address your feelings properly will actually free you from a lot of pain, and actually you will understand that a lot of feelings is unnecessary. When you actually communicate with somebody and they communicating back with you correctly, you'll find out that a lot of stuff is unnecessary. You don't even have to worry about a lot of stuff. You don't even have to think about a lot of stuff. You don't have to assume a lot of stuff. Majority of the problems that happen with communication is the person being in their head about a lot of stuff, but they don't address it. They don't address it. You believe whatever somebody say or whatever the case may be, and you stick with that. You don't even give a person the benefit of the doubt to speak for themselves or whatever, any situation. I've been in situations where I had bosses that, what I'm saying, I try to communicate with them, but you get a lot of people that they so set in their ways that it's not even about what's right. It's not even about communicating. It's about what they say and how they want things done. That's just what it is. But I'm sorry, that's not something that I'm going to deal with in any circumstances. I'm not going to deal with it. I put myself through a lot of situations, dealing with a lot, thinking that possibly something can change. But at some point, you got to wake up out of the illusion and realize that when something is not changing, especially communication, then you got to move forward. You got to move forward. You can't keep that in your environment. Can't have that around you because eventually it's gonna tear you down. And sometimes that's really the objective. When somebody doesn't refuses to do something and they're not for you, that's the true objective. want to make you feel less or whatever the case may be. I can't really speak on that because that's not my personality. That's not me. But I never been that kind of person to try to tear somebody down. I always try to communicate, but depending on the next person's level of communication, then it's not going to go far. I never really been the person that try to project things. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt of actually working on themselves. And that actually left me in the situation of sticking in a lot of situations that I should have been left. I should have been gave up on because it was a lost cause. It was meant for them to figure out their path at that time. After a while, sometimes things happen people don't see because they're so caught up in their own life and not realizing a lot that the true blessings could be right in front of you and you don't even know because you're too caught up in the wrong things. You see things backwards. You can have practically everything that you need, not everything you want. You have everything you need in front of you, but because of greed and lust or anything else, it could it can basically flip your whole vision of things. But back to the subject of the communication. That's just something that anybody should notice that should be working on it, especially an adult when it comes to a kid. That's something that should definitely come from a parent to their child, teaching them how to communicate. And like I said, I'm not trying to be better than anybody or nothing, but it's just something that should be discussed so that more people can be aware and actually work towards better. Yeah, I'm just enjoying the day at the beach by myself, just thinking about a lot of things. Thinking it's time to reflect more and move forward and do bigger and better things. And that's one thing that I've been striving for, just better communication, which I actually feel like I've been way better at. Let some people tell it, it will be something different. But if you're not communicating on the same level as me, then it will seem that I'm not communicating correctly or whatever. You can't talk to someone that's speaking a different language if they're not speaking the same language. Basically, you're just wasting your time. That's one way to look at that. But thank you for tuning in. I should be dropping another video soon. Thank you for checking out the videos. Hit the like button if you like it. Subscribe and check with y'all later.